welcome back to my channel. This is Christina at Homeschooling Grace, and today is another weekly update for weeks 21 to 22. So we're gonna do another double one. So I wanted to share really quick a book I've been reading that I think is really good for this time called Mama Bear Apologetics. It says empowering your kids to challenge cultural lies, and it's an excellent book. I am a quarter of the way through, but I've also skipped around a little. But there is a chapter that I just feel like right now, dealing with the pandemic and the crisis and everything, it talks about linguistic theft, and it's all about redefining words to get your way and avoid reality. And just right now, I feel like words are being used in thievery in some ways, both on the good side and the bad side. So this isn't just a one size fits all, but it really helps as parents to think about that as like, okay, what words are they using as I'm listening to the news? Are they trying to get my emotions going, or is this really just a fact? So, and that's what I found and really appreciated, because even for myself, I need to realize, okay, is this a buzzword that's like to get me, or is it really factual? So I highly recommend this, and I'll link it down below if you're interested at all. So down below, I will put a timestamp for each age or grade level, I should say, if you want to skip ahead and just see like grade 4th, or if you're wanting to just see the pre-K, unless you want to watch the whole thing, then do that. Okay, so preschool, I gotta find my book. Okay, and remember, I'm behind in preschool, so she's only to week 9. So all aboard the animal train for week 9. And let's see here. So this would be the final week for this unit. So this is broken up into units of 3 weeks. So it's a 36-week program, and you do each unit for 3 weeks. What does that make it? 12 units? Yeah, 12 units. Okay, so this will be her final week for ducks. So I don't have a ton to share for hers. She did make this cute little duck picture. She added some glitter glue, which is always fun. And then she made a card, which I think are always cute, and she mailed it off to her grandma. She had a lot of fun doing that. Let's see what else. There's a gelatin, like a Jell-O recipe that we ended up not doing. But it sounds yummy. It's with pineapple juice, so it's gotta be yummy. But I didn't have any pineapple juice, and I'm not going to the store just for pineapple juice right now. So we ended up making, I had a box of corn muffin mix that's yellow, so we made corn muffins. Okay, and then I wanted to share our surprise time. She really loves the surprise time, and so this is all I use. I got this at IKEA, and I've used it for all 3 of my kids. So we put the little numbers in here, and then the ones that we've used, we just put in a plastic baggie. And then each day that we do school, she just picks one and does it. So I thought I would share each video. I'll go through the next 5 videos, I guess I do, or something close to it. I'll go through each surprise bin so that you can kind of see what's included. So this first one is the widget. So you get these cool little widget cards. And again, these are in the deluxe package of the My Father's World. So anyways, she really likes using these. I've had one kid that, like, when she was in preschool, she took the whole stack and like did them all. I was like, in one day. I was like, oh, well, that was fast. But I've only had one do that so far. Okay, so if you haven't seen these are super fun for like whatever grade level. Oh. They stack up really cool, and they'd be really fun to have on a coffee table, and then like you can just sit and play with them like while you read aloud. They can be kind of noisy, but they're super fun. So I keep them in this little bin, the number on it. And I just got these. These are just shoe bins from Target. Okay, let's see. Anything else to share? Oh, I did want to share. Okay. Okay, so I ordered this, and then I was like cruising around on the My Father's World website, and I saw that they had one similar to it, but I had already bought it myself. It's a different one they have, but this is a really fun coloring book. And I noticed when I was looking for something to go with the Bible lessons from, oh, it's on the bottom. Sorry. So this is used for the preschool and for the pre-K. So the stories that go along with this, there's a lot of the pictures to go along with it. And so I'm now using this for the days that we do read, because it's only once a week you end up reading from this. I've been looking for pictures to go with it that she can like paint or color while I'm reading. So that's been fun. And you can they're like reproducible. So it was like the Transfiguration. So there's that. Is it the Transfiguration? No, it's not. It's when he goes back to heaven. I can get my church terminology correct. So it's him going back to heaven. So she is able to do that while I read. So that's kind of fun. So it's not even like with the curriculum. I was just like cruising through their add-ons because I wanted to see if there was anything to add to next year that I had missed. So I saw that they had something similar, and this was just from Amazon. Okay, so that was week 9. Okay, pre-K. Get into it. Okay, Voyage of Discovery, week 21 and 22. Okay, so I don't know if you have stopped. I realized I wasn't reading. There's these notes, messages from Marie. You should go read these. She has so much wisdom, and she's the creator of My Father's World. But this one was just so fitting for right now. It's God's waves and breakers. I won't read it all. So she talks about Psalm 42:7, and then she goes on to say, those powerful waves, those powerful breakers are sweeping over me, smoothing away my rough spots, transforming me into something of beauty, like the beautiful smooth stones we see on the ocean beach. We are living stones transformed by the powerful waves and breakers our loving Father sends to us. And I just thought that was cool, like, with everything going on right now, like, yeah, it's not necessarily just, we have to remember that there's joy in these hard times. Like, it is to, refine us, and it's to smooth us out, and to, it's that whole pottery and everything. Like, what is he creating you to be? So I just thought that was really cool. So I really recommend. I haven't seen her messages like this in other curriculums, but this one definitely, I mean, it's almost every single week she has got a little note at the beginning, and they're like precious. I was just thinking the other day, like, I wish she would make like a devotional for moms, because she's got so much wisdom, and like, I think I would love it. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. Okay, week 21 and 22. Okay, so we're still for Bible. Like I said, she's still going through this one. And then I like to still add in this one. Whoop. So she was learning. So what was kind of interesting, you went from week 20, where she was learning about like Jonah, or a lot of the prophets. We got Daniel and Jonah, and now she's to about Jesus as a child. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. But then I remembered, we skipped forward because of the Christmas unit. So there's even a lesson on the boy Jesus, and then John the Baptist, and then who else did we learn about? I think that was it. So those two were kind of fun to add to the Bible time. She's still loving her little prayer basket. It's that little thing right there. That's also from IKEA. Let's see, what else did we add? Oh, this week she also was supposed to make clay jars. So this is the one I made, and then she made this cute little one because she was learning about the woman at the well. Can you see that? Put it to the side. Anyways, my band-aid on my finger. Anyways, those were kind of fun to make, and I got this clay from Rainbow Resource, so it's a nice, like, sturdy, like, we probably could put water in it and it would hold it. Okay, what else? Okay, so another cool thing, there's this lesson on saying no to sin we didn't do it this year, but I've done it in the past, where you say no to sin and you put pepper and water with dish soap and you like say no to it. And I feel like it's such a great visual to teach your children about saying no to sin. And it's that, you know, daily repentance of turning from sin and turning to God. So I thought that was a really great visual to use. Okay, so that was for Bible. Here where she learned about the O, and so I got owl stickers, and then P for paint. Those are what we used for those weeks. And then I like these, woo, I'm losing my book. I like these Alpha Tail books. I have the whole set, and I can link them below. They're not required at all, but they're kind of fun to add in. So all of the Octopus's Day of Juggling and the Pig's Picnic, those are kind of nice add-ons. Again, not required. Okay, so I also like these. I've shared them before, but these nature activity cards. I just thought it was really funny. Okay, first of all, this isn't funny. O is for the old oak. And it talks about the oak tree and everything in it. Okay, this one was really funny for me. P is for poo. And it literally, like, how to identify poop? Totally disgusting, but it's nature. Okay, so anyways, that's kind of fun. These are funny add-ons. So nature activity cards, and I even have the 1, 2, 3s that we use. Again, these are not, you know, you don't need to have these. They're just kind of fun. You know, I just like to share, you know, whatever has helped us to kind of what I like to add in, but they're not needed. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, that's right. One last thing I wanted to add: if you have been struggling to like find time to read your Bible yourself, what's really cool in the teacher's manual up at the top here, they give scripture references to what your child will be learning about. And I recommend, if you are wanting to start just getting in your Bible more and you haven't yet, just go read these. And then that gives you a little bit to talk about with your child once you start the school time. And it goes along with what they're learning for that day. So it will kind of give you a reference, and it kind of will give you something to think on. So anyways, that's just my 2 cents to add in there. Okay, so that was for my pre-care. I don't have a lot to share today. Okay, on to my first grader. Okay, so she's still working through the books of the Bible on here, and she has gotten to the New Testament. And it's just a nice overview, and then we will go through and say all of the books of the Bible. So it's a good, just that daily, okay, what are the books of the Bible? Okay, so I also was noticing for her, she was kind of getting frustrated with me telling her what we were doing each day, and she didn't have much control over it. So someone had given me the idea. It was, thank you, Servant Warrior. One of my subscribers. She always gives me really good tips. So she gave the idea to, I guess she prints these out, or just makes a copy of the teacher's manual for the child so that they can mark off where they're at. And I know that My Father's World has said, if you don't plan to sell it, then you can totally do that. So I started doing that because it helps her. I won't save these at all, but she just needs something to be able to check off herself. So you could even write it in another book, what they're doing. If you have a child like that needs to be able to see that they are accomplishing something, and not mom's just saying more and more and more. Okay, so she also was learning about the Israelites. They had crossed the Red Sea, and the bitter water. I laugh because I've been drinking this stuff called, grapefruit seed extract. It's terrible. It's so bitter. And so we always joke, I'm drinking my bitter waters of Mara because it's so bitter, but it's good for you. Okay. Let's see what else. She's still doing good with her Bible notebook. We're getting it done. Let me know how your kids are doing with it. I always find these, they're so fun to have in the end. Oh wow, look at what you did and you accomplished and you wrote so much. And it's always kind of fun to look back and remember. So that was all Bible. Let's see, anything in here to share? She's still, I don't think you can see it. Anyways, up here I've got a chains for her to tear off each day. She completes some page from this, and then she gets a prize at the end. She's really looking forward to that. And I think that's the beauty with this curriculum, is that it's not really heavy on the workbook stuff, because I haven't had one that really, I haven't had any child, I guess I should say, really loves the workbook stuff. And so this was pretty rough has been kind of rough to get through. And so it's nice, like a reminder, like next year you're not going to have as much, you're not going to have workbook stuff. This is kind of like the only year where you have to you gotta do the hard stuff. I don't think I have anything to share from in here. Okay, so math. She's still liking this math. She actually she very much looks forward to it. And then she's got these are the flashcards that she's been using, to do, it was like +3, I think. Yeah. So she was working through that, and she likes math, so that wasn't a struggle at all. And I really like the teacher's manual has in the back math books and science books to add in, like living books more, which I really appreciate, because sometimes it's just fun to read what the books they offer. She's still working through her timeline, doing really good with that. I finally realized that this has a little slot here. I guess I had forgotten about it, so I put her timeline pieces that, they get so small and then I lose them. So I started putting them in there, which has been helpful. Oh, she made a tambourine, which is noisy and fun. Okay, and then still loving the art cards. Oh, I forgot to mention. Okay, I'm really excited about this. We finally started Tales from Cherry Lane, and I cannot find the book now. So I'll link a picture here. There's a picture. My kids loved it. They really enjoyed it, and I would try and skip a night to stretch it out a little longer, but my first grader loved it, and she was like, please read the next chapter, please read the next chapter. And it's not like this story that what is it, like it develops upon itself. It's definitely, each chapter is its own, but she really enjoyed it, and so I was really grateful for that. And the lessons, like I was learning stuff and they're learning stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I think there was one on idols, and like, are you making something an idol? And I was like, oh yes, I'm totally making something an idol. Like, it was like convicting me. So it's a really good book, and it was really fun, and my kids really enjoyed it. Okay, so we're also working through Peter and the Wolf. Well, actually I should say the Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra, which has been fun to listen to, and she typically will work on her pattern blocks while we listen to it, so that's been fun. I think that's it. Okay, so that was first grade. Okay, last student. You should see this room once it's done. Like, I'll get my schoolroom all tidied up, and then I do these videos, and it's like, a palm went off. My kids are like, Mom, you made a mess. I've got to make the video. Okay. So week 21 and 22. Okay. Oh, sorry. 4th grade, Creation to the Greeks. Okay, so she's still working through memorizing Psalm 1. And I started using, so we would each week go through a new part of the verse. I'm pointing over here because I have it up on the wall. Each section we would go through, I've decided to pull up Blue Letter Bible, and I'll link it below if you're interested at all. But they have commentary by David Guzik, and he will go like verse by verse, and so we'll talk about the verse more in depth. So, whichever it is, like, not so the wicked, they're like chaff that the wind blows away. I'm like, do you even understand that? She typically says no. And so we'll pull it up on there, and then we can talk more about it with like, it's almost like having someone else explain it to us. So that's been really helpful if you were looking for a commentary. It's Blue Letter Bible. There's an app for it, and then we just pull it up on the computer. Okay, moving on. So I really appreciated these last 2 weeks reading from the Bible. The history has been more tied into like the events that happened to David, and then it would tie into like the Psalms that he would have sung during these like very difficult times. And so I just thought that was really cool. Like, oh, I didn't even realize he wrote that then. And then, you know, we're going through hard times, and look at this hard time that he's gone through, and he wrote this beautiful song. So then they would have the child make up their own psalms, and I didn't have her write it out. We made up psalms, each of us did, and just said it to each other, but it was kind of fun to do. And then this is used this year, which I really like. My girls, or at least my oldest, I should say, she really likes this book. And so it was like about Israel, and they're just really neat. So, you know, she's learning about ancient Israel, and then to learn about modern Israel and what's happening nowadays, and then to pray for them. We always stop to do that. So I just find it really cool to do that. And she's getting really into archaeology. So I got a National Geographic archaeology book that she really loves. So she's really cute. So she's got this little suitcase, and she puts all the like missionary books in that we have, like the Heroes Then and Now, I think, series. She has them all in there, and we were looking for one of them for some reason, or I was looking maybe for this book. I'm like, where's that book? And she's like, oh, it's in my emergency missionary suitcase. I'm like, emergency missionary suitcase? She's like, yes, it's for emergencies. I thought that was really cute. Okay, anyways, this is a great book to add in that geography. Moving on, we're really still liking this English from the Roots Up and the Greek. It's amazing how many words you realize have this Greek background, and it's really helpful for me teaching English to my younger one now, because I'm like, oh, that's why it's so weird. Like, this isn't like our English language is such a jumble of different languages. It makes kind of more sense, or like why that is that and such. So it's been fun to work through that. Spelling Power, we're still working through this. We're to the first review, and I'm trying to decide if I should put it down for now until next year. We are definitely getting, what is it, senioritis, summeritis. We're farther than this, but I'm trying to decide, should I just put this down for now with a couple of other things and just pick it back up next year, and just, I mean, we love the history and the read alouds, and it's like, should we just finish that up and just call it good on spelling? I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. I gotta talk to my husband about it. Okay. Also, math. We're still working through Gamma. Again, this is another one. Should we just pause for a little while, pick it up next year, or keep going? I can't remember if we're to a review section yet. We've got to be close. Maybe if we get halfway and then just pause till next year. Let me know what you do, if you do anything like that, or if you just keep... I know some people do math all year round, and I've been tempted to do that, but I feel like once the sun comes out, we want to be outside. Okay, so what's really cool too is that the language lessons for today also ties into the Bible. So not only was it like we read about David, then we read his psalm, and then for language lessons, we learned about Michelangelo's David statue that he made and how it all came to be. And so it was just really cool. They're just so good about tying it all together through all like the different subjects. So I really appreciate that. And there was a poem. Oh, and verb tense. Verb tense, it's always fun. Let's see here. Okay, so she had been working for writing skills on descriptions of her room, and she's been really struggling. She doesn't like the descriptive writing. She'd prefer like a more imaginative writing, but I think it's a really good skill to have, so I've been really encouraging her to do it. And it was funny because she's been so into archaeology. We've been watching all these shows on Egypt and Greece and, you know, these archaeological digs. And I was like, so just think about it. Let's pretend your room is actually this archaeological dig, and you're digging up, and you have to categorize everything that's in the room and like describe it for someone else in the future to read who's going to dig up your room. And I think that might have helped her a little bit. Like, okay, there is purpose to this. It's not just like mom's torturing you. I shouldn't say it like that, but sometimes I think she feels that way. We're still loving the art. Let's see here. I wanted to share. We were learning about, okay, I'm going to butcher his name probably. Albrecht Dürer. I gotta like remember my old German. Anyways, he talks about his mom and this portrait of a mother. You know, it's real life. So anyways, I put this up at my desk. She would say this, I guess, all the time. Christ be with thee. She would tell that to people and to her children. So I put it at my desk. When I'm having one of those days, I can be like, Christ be with thee. Myself, and tell it to my child, my daughters. Christ be with thee. So that was kind of fun to go through. And also, she was doing dragons. She wrote a really cute thing. She had to do a keeping an art journal in this. And it was really sweet. The weather is all over the place. When it is hailing, I am sad. But when it is sunny, I am happy. I love the sun. And when it is sunny, I am happy. Oh, that was cute. So anyways, I'm really liking this. And we'll be using it again next year, which I'm really happy about. So we're still reading through the Homer. So we got a little bit behind. So on one of the sunny days, we decided to sit outside and we just caught up to where we were. And I had all my kids listen along because I had just been reading it to her, which normally any read-alouds with the family cycle, I'll read to all of them in the evening. But this one I had heard mixed reviews about, so I'm like, oh, I guess we won't read it. But my first grader is really liking it. My littler ones, they don't really care. They just, I think it doesn't really matter what I read. She's enjoying it too, so we decided to, instead of just read it to my oldest, I'm reading it now as our family read aloud. And we're really liking it, and it just brought on good conversation, and I think the story's really interesting. I'm tempted almost to get the next two books because we have been enjoying this. So I know it's kind of mixed reviews on it, but we haven't really struggled with it too much. And it's really nice because they have the prompts in here for the questions, so it gives us something to focus on while I'm reading it, especially with some of the chapters when there's a lot of characters. It's like, okay, let's just make sure we figure out what is the purpose of this chapter, I guess. And we're still going through Bach. So we're still enjoying this. Oh, this was fun because we listened to, it was 4 different tracks, and it was all different instruments. And so she wanted to go, I think, FaceTime a cousin. And I was like, well, you have to guess. If you don't guess the instrument, you can't do it. So each one we'd start it, and she could guess each one, and it was like a harpsichord and an organ. I'm like, how do you even, I mean, kids, their minds are amazing. So she guessed them all and was able to like zoom through it and go to the next, go talk on FaceTime. Oh, so she did want to start a foreign language because, again, she's going to be a missionary, she tells me. So she wanted to start a foreign language because she saw the teacher's manual down here below has foreign language. And she's like, Mom, why don't you ever check that box? I'm like, because it's foreign language. We don't do foreign language. She was like, what? I need to do foreign language, Mom, because I'm going to be a missionary. So I apologize. And right now, because of everything happening, Rosetta Stone, you can do a trial for 3 months. And it may not still be like that long, but I know that they have at least a week or two. So we gave it a try to see if she liked it. She's doing Spanish and she really enjoyed it. I do think we had to figure out a better computer for her to work at where she can then, because you talk as well, where it can like hear you, and our desktop is too old. It doesn't have a microphone. So anywho, I think that is it. We unfortunately still behind on science. I need to just pick it back up because it's really fun stuff. We were supposed to do like eclipses and what else? Oh, it was the solar system and all this cool stuff, and the moon. And you know, they always have good books in the back then to add to it that we could do for our lunchtime read alouds that we've been terrible about lately. I feel like I feel like I'm not doing anything different, but everything feels different right nowadays. So anyways, we gotta get this going again. So I think that's it. So thanks again for stopping by, and if you like this video, here are some other ones to check out, and I hope to see you at the next video. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.